Hello and welcome to my new video. In this video, I'll try to show you how to use databases in Appwrite. In the previous video, I showed you how to implement authentication in your Next.js project using Appwrite, and this time we will try to use databases. So if you didn't watch the previous video, please watch it before starting this one, and after that, we are gonna continue with the same app that we implemented authentication, and right now we're gonna try to use that databases. So basically we're gonna go inside our Appwrite console, and here we're gonna click databases, and let's click that create database button. So we're gonna give it a name. We can say main, and we can give an ID. And after creating our database, we have to create some collections here. So you can think that collections as like a tables in your database. So let's say we are gonna build a block system right now, and what table we are gonna have here. So we can have a posts table. So we can call it posts, and let's give it an ID with the same name, and let's click create. And we have to think that what we're gonna store in this collection. So basically we can have a title, we can have a content, or we can call it body. Let's start with adding title attribute here. So we will say so the attribute key will be title, and we have to set a size. Maybe we can say 128, and it will be nullable. Actually, no, sorry, it will not nullable. Of course, we have to set a title for our blog posts. So right after that we will click create, and right after that we will continue with adding the other attributes that we need. All right, let's call it body. And so in here, is there any type that we can use for the body? No. Okay, it's a little bit weird actually, because we can know how long it's gonna be. Yeah, that might be a problem, but anyway, let's say body, and let's have $2,000, and it can be nullable. That's okay. Let's click create, and after that, okay, I think that's enough for now. And let's come back to our application, and we will have a page to add a new blog post here. So maybe we can say okay, we can have a route called new post, and here we're gonna add a new page tsx here, and new post page. So we will have two input area here. One of them is for title, and one of them for the content. So let's create that page quickly, and we're gonna have a button to save our blog posts. Of course, we're gonna have a callback function to handle that. Okay, let's see if our page works. New post. Okay, we have to say that it is a client component. Okay, we have a title area here, and we have a content area here. Cool. So what we're gonna do here, actually, let's come back to our Appwrite file, and we have to initialize the database here. So we're gonna initialize the database class here by passing the client that we created earlier. And after that, we can export that instance to use it in anywhere in our application. So in here, basically, we have to import that database instance. Okay. So right after that, once user fill that form and click the create post button, we have to implement that in here. So let's have some state here called title. Okay, once user click that button, we are gonna use our database instance here, and we are gonna run the create document function here. So what we're gonna pass for this function, the first thing we have to pass is database ID, and the next thing is collection ID, which is created just now. We called it posts, so we will pass posts, and here we have to pass a new document ID. And if you remember that we have a helper class which is provided by Appwrite, so we will use that helper class here. We're gonna run unique function to have a unique ID for the new document. And the last thing we have to pass is our data. So we have title and we have body. We're gonna pass that. Oh, sorry, we also have to pass a permissions, but we're gonna talk about it very soon. We have to mark this function as an async function. Let's try to see what we're gonna get from this request. Okay, let me turn back here and open my dev tool to see the logs. Okay, yeah, once we try to create a new blog post here, it says the current user is not authorized to perform the requested action. So why this is happening here, we didn't set the permissions yet. So we have to go our collection, and we will go into the settings page, and here basically we have a permissions section. What we're gonna do here is basically we will say that all users can create a new document here. So we will choose users, and we will say any user can create a new document in that posts collection. So we will update that one, and let's try to send that request again. So when we try it again, you will see that we created our new blog post here. If you go back here and go to the documents tab, you'll see your first record here. So now it's time to list our blog posts in this screen. So we will go to our home page, and we will have another state to store the posts here. Okay, so let's have another function to run when this page is loaded. We can call it load blog posts, and it's going to be async function. So we're going to use that database instance that we created in Appwrite file. So we're going to use list documents functions, and we have to pass the database ID, collection ID, And the last thing is optional. We can pass some queries here. If you want to fetch some certain documents, you can pass queries here. But right now we're gonna just leave it as it is, and we will try to fetch all blog posts here. And let's try to log the response. Of course, we have to run this function. Once we try to reach the blog post, it says the current user is not authorized. So if you remember, we also have the other actions that we can provide to user. We can provide read permission to the user to allow to access all the documents. So let's provide user to read permission and update it. And if you turn back to the home page and refresh it, as you can see, the user is able to reach that documents. Okay, so let's try to list that documents here. We're gonna set post response documents. You will have another section here called blog posts. As you can see, we managed to see our first blog post here. Let's try to add another one. Second one. Here is the content. Okay, it seems it works properly right now. And the last thing that we can do is maybe we can try to delete a blog post here. Let's have another button here after showing the title. Maybe we can also have a delete button here. And once user click that, we will have another callback, delete post, and it's gonna take the ID of the blog post. And let's try to delete post, and we're gonna pass the ID of the blog post here. So in here, basically, we're gonna run delete document function here. So it is same. We have to pass the database ID and collection ID here, and after that, we're gonna pass the document ID. So let's come back here and okay, I'll click delete for the second one. Okay, it is same. We have to provide user to delete permission. Otherwise, they will not able to do that action. So after that, let's click delete again. So once we refresh the page, we will see that the second blog post is deleted. Okay, so I think this is the basics of how we can use database in Appwrite. Of course, there are a lot of things that we need to learn, but this is the fundamentals that how you can use databases in Appwrite. So maybe if you have some questions about the permissions, maybe I can have a separate video to explain your questions. So for now, I think that's all. Thank you for watching it. See you in the next video.